Hey guys, we're back with another video. The last video that we did was our trip through North Island. It was pretty successful. If you watched it, thank you. This one we're going to be doing a short video on camping and kind of how we've gone through camping and the pros and cons of what we've liked, what we've learned, and some recommendations that we can do for you.
Yeah. So, for those of you who don't know us, if you're tuning in from somewhere other than our family and friends, I'm Mallory,
I'm Val.
and so we're Mal and Val. We are currently on a 1-year working holiday visa throughout New Zealand, and we are doing more of the holiday version of it right now. There are a couple different apps that were suggested when we started talking about camping. One of them is called Campermate, which we used for quite a bit at the beginning of our trip, as we mentioned in our last video. There's also another one called Rankers and a gas app called Gatsby. After we heard about the free dock sites, we decided to plan our camping trips around where the dock sites were. And so there's a couple different types of camping. You can camp at holiday parks, which will charge per person. It's usually about $20 per person. There's also the dock sites, which range. So there's basic sites, which are free, and those usually just have a toilet. And then there are standard sites, which are about $8 per person, and those will have a toilet and maybe some soap. And then there's the scenic campsites, which, depending on where you are, will have a little bit more of an amenity feel. So some of them have had kitchens, some of them have had regular bathrooms that are flush toilets instead of drop or vault toilets, and those are $13 each. And there's private driveways that you can rent, and we've done that before, and that was cool. It was $19 flat instead of paying per person. And we found that on Campermate. And then there's also private campsites like Guns Camp on Milford Road, and those are usually a bit more costly, but very nice typically. So when we stayed at Guns Camp, it was $20 per person.
Yeah, and they're a little bit nicer. You get hot water showers, you get community kitchens, so multiple stoves. Usually they'll give you pots and pans to cook with, a cutting board. They give you big seating area, so it is like a big camp where you have community seating where you can eat and kind of chill out with everybody. And that's where we're kind of going back into the social aspect of it. Those campsites are nice because you get the people that are doing the same thing as you and have been traveling around the same places as you. So you get the opportunity to ask them where they've gone, their favorite places, anything that they can recommend. Not only do you get to find out about the place that you're in, but the place that they're from as well too. New Zealand is a very tourist-driven destination, so you get people from all over the world. We've met people from Germany, Czech Republic, France, the UK, Canada, anywhere that you can think of. We've probably ran into somebody from there.
Another thing that we want to talk about in this video is self-contained. So we are driving around in Lucille. We have a bed built out in the back of her where the seats are folded down, which gives us some storage underneath. We are not self-contained. There, I think, is a big controversy right now, and it's something that should be said, that there are cars that shouldn't be self-contained because they're too small, and there's a certain set of regulations. Self-contained means that you can use the toilet in your vehicle, and therefore you can freedom camp. Now, if you are certified self-contained, but not using the toilet and just peeing and pooping outside, it's really degrading the environment, and a lot of the privileges that we have as campers are going to start being taken away because of people abusing the system. So in our opinion, if you're under a certain size vehicle, you shouldn't be considered self-contained because it's just not feasible. I definitely would consider that if you want a self-contained vehicle versus a non-self-contained vehicle. If you're a self-contained vehicle, you can freedom camp, which is camping anywhere that is kind of like a pull-off on the side of the road, along like a picnic area or something like that, in addition to parking lots designated parking lots, and the campsites that we mentioned before. Those vehicles are usually a lot more expensive, so we paid a lower price for our vehicle without the self-contained sticker and certification, and we've been really happy with our experience so far. In addition to all of that, the camping sites that we mentioned, especially the dock sites, a lot of them are unattended. So that means that you don't walk up to somebody and pay. You go to the little entrance board and pay your fees.
They're called honesty boxes for a reason. You're intended to pay and be honest about how many nights you're going to be there, how many people you have, the age of them. A lot of them will give you a discount on multiple days stays. So it's worth it to be honest. It's worth it to be a decent person, a decent camper, and pay the respectable amount.
Our top tip, pay your fees. It goes to the maintenance of the campsites. If you want toilet paper in your toilets, if you want soap, if you want nice facilities, then pay the fees. It's only right. It goes to the Department of Conservation to upkeep these places for people to enjoy them after you. We've seen people get kicked out of campsites. We think they're pretty fairly priced. We were definitely surprised at paying per person because at home it's just pay for the campsite, no matter how many people are there. But yeah, pay the fees. Don't be a gypsy. One thing about camping is bugs. When we were camping on the south and west coast, it was
Brutal.
with
Brutal.
the sandflies. So we typically sleep with the hatch up on Lucille and then just drape a mozzie net over the back. I think my favorite part of camping has been the fact that most of our campsites have been really isolated. So yes, you drive down unsealed roads, and for those at home, unsealed are gravel roads, unpaved. But super isolated. You're waking up with mountain views and gorgeous lakes and rivers, and amazing sunsets and sunrises. We've gotten lots of cool time-lapse videos from beautiful campsites.
Yeah, camping has been an experience. Like Mallory had mentioned before, we've done quite a few different styles of camping. Whether it's free sites, staying at holiday sites, holiday parks. We stayed at a couple of different hostels. It all gives you your different pros and cons, and depending on what you're looking for in camping, they all are great. They all have their different sides to them, which make the experience more than anything. I think the biggest thing to get out of camping is to be in nature, to be in the place that you've come to visit, to wake up in it, to go to sleep with it, to look up and see the stars at night. It's an incredible thing.
So many stars. So that's about it for camping. We'll throw some photos in here for you to check out, and feel free to comment below if you have any questions, comments, or concerns.
Also, feel free to like and subscribe if you enjoyed the video.
Thanks for watching. Bye.
See ya!